Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the first episode of Laravel series introduction. First of all, we are going to jump into prerequisites to learn Laravel framework. Before diving into Laravel, you should already be comfortable with some foundational skills. You need a good understanding of PHP basics, functions, arrays, classes, group concepts. Because Laravel is built on PHP, you should also know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript since Laravel projects involve front-end work too. A working knowledge of databases, especially MySQL, is important to understand migrations and Eloquent ORM. Finally, being familiar with Composer, a PHP dependency manager, and basic command line usage will make your learning smoother. Secondly, let's talk about target audience. Laravel is ideal for beginner to intermediate PHP developers who want to build modern web applications quickly and efficiently. It also serves freelancers, students, and startups who need to create scalable projects without reinventing the wheel. Experienced developers from other frameworks or languages can also benefit since Laravel provides elegant syntax, built-in tools, and structured workflows to speed up development. In short, it's for anyone who wants to move from writing raw PHP code to building professional and feature-rich applications. After that, let's move on to series overview. We'll be going through, say, introduction, routing, controllers, blade views, subviews, template inheritance, JavaScript and blade views, components, database migrations, seeders, factories, query builder with CRUD system, raw SQL, pagination, joins, advanced query builder, eloquent models, model events, listeners and observers, relationships, forms and validations, form request validation, custom validation rules, login system, authentication, middleware, sessions, gates, policies, file upload, and finally mutators and accessors. Next, we are going to have brief introduction of Laravel. Laravel is a modern PHP web framework designed to make web development faster, easier, and more structured. It provides a clean and elegant syntax, built-in tools for common tasks like authentication, routing, database management, and promotes writing secure and maintainable code. Instead of manually handling everything in raw PHP, Laravel gives you a solid foundation with reusable components, which saves time and reduces errors. Now we are going to move on to M.V.C architecture. Laravel follows the M.V.C architecture, which organizes your code into three main layers. Model handles data and interacts with the database. Views displays information to user, usually HTML with blade templates in Laravel. And finally, controllers connects the model and view by handling requests, applying logic, and sending data to the right place. Next, let's have a brief comparison of Laravel with other popular PHP frameworks. First of all, let's talk about Laravel versus CodeIgniter. Laravel is more modern with built-in features like authentication, ORM eloquent, and blade templating engine, while CodeIgniter is lightweight, simpler, and better suited for small projects but lacks many advanced tools out of the box. Then we have Laravel versus Symfony. Symfony is highly flexible and enterprise focused with reusable components, but it has a steeper learning curve. Laravel, on the other hand, is more beginner friendly with expressive syntax and faster development cycles. After that, we have Laravel and Git. He is strong in performance and has built-in tools like Git for code generation, but Laravel offers a rich ecosystem, cleaner syntax, and a larger community, making it easier to find support and packages. And finally, let's talk about Laravel versus Cake PHP. Cake PHP emphasizes rapid prototyping and convention over configuration, but Laravel has become more popular due to its modern design, active ecosystem, and developer-friendly features. Now we are going to move on to installation. So for installation, since we'll be using Linux throughout this series, but for other operating systems such as Windows or macOS, is going to be pretty self-explanatory. Now let's start installation. Let me bring up my terminal And first of all, you need to update your system, and also let's let's upgrade as well, and let's clear the screen. And after that, you need to install SQLite 3. Hit enter. Since I've already set up my machine for Laravel development, everything would be already installed. So let me show you how you can set up your system. So after that, you can check the SQLite version. Next, you will need to add default adapter for PHP. So here is the command. You can install PHP SQLite 3. Enter. That's already the newest. And after that, you will also need to have, say, sudo apt-get install php-pgsql to add default PHP driver. And after that, Laravel requires PHP 8.2 or 8.3. So for that, let's add a command, say sudo apt-get. Let's update the system again. You will also need to say upgrade. Let me clear the screen. And after that, you will need to add onreg repository. The current maintainer of PHP is onreg suri. It sounds odd that the package of such a language doesn't belong to any organization, but here you can add it safely. Say sudo add apt-repository ppa://php. Hit enter. And since I have already installed all of these packages, so I'm gonna cancel with the controller command C. And after that, you will again need to sudo apt-get update your system, and also upgrade your system. And then you will also need to add dependencies. Say Laravel will be buggy if you do not install PHP based modules. Let me clear the screen and let's paste the command here. So you will need to add all of these dependencies. Otherwise, Laravel will be buggy if you do not install PHP based modules. So I have already installed all of them. Let's clear the screen again. And now, before you move on, let's check the version of the PHP with the command, say php-n version. Hit enter, and I have got PHP 8.4.12. and next we are gonna install, say, Composer. And for Composer, let me bring up my Chrome. Let's maximize it and let's go for, say, Composer. And here you will browse for Composer, and then let's click on download. And as per your operating system, you will be redirected to the download page. And if you're also following me, you can download Composer from this download instructions page. So you just need to copy this whole block of code and paste it into your terminal. And after that, let's get back to our terminal, and let me clear up my screen. And to create a default Laravel 12 application, you can execute a command, say, and make sure that you have successfully installed Composer on your machine. Type in here Composer followed by create-project space Laravel/Laravel equals to, and the version. The latest version is 12, and then the name of the application. But before that, let me open up my directory where we'll be creating our project files. Let me share my terminal with you, and let's copy this command from here. Let's cut that, and I'm gonna close this terminal for now, and make sure that you are in the folder that you'll be using for your Laravel projects. This is my directory, so Laravel, and I'm gonna create a folder here. Say paste. The name of the project would be, say, my app. Hit enter, and that's gonna take a couple of million years to download and set up the project. Alright, so it's successfully installed our project, and let me open our project in our favorite editor. That's gonna be VS Code. Let me maximize, yes, I trust the others, and maximize the screen, and your code installation appears to be corrupt. Please reinstall. Let me close that tab and this pop-up as well. Alright, so here we have got Visual Studio Code as our code editor, and if you need to learn more about VS Code, you can watch our VS based series and find the link in the description below. The next thing, we would like to move on to the Laravel directory structure. We have got app contains the core code of your application, including models, HTTP, and providers. Let me show you what we have in HTTP. We have got controllers in models. We have got user in providers. We have app service provider. And after app folder, we have got Bootstrap. Here we have cache app providers. This folder handles the framework bootstrapping and caching of configuration. And after Bootstrap, we have got config. It stores all configuration files such as database. We have mail here. We have cache here, and etc. And after config, we have got database. This folder includes migrations, seeders, and factories for database setup and testing. And after database, we have public folder. The entry point for all requests contains index.php, and we have .htaccess. We have got icon that I'll show you once we serve the application. And after public, we have resources folder. It holds views, blade templates, raw assets, say CSS and JavaScript, and also language files as well as views. We have got welcome.blade.php. Once you serve your application, this would be the entry point of your application. We'll be showing you in a little bit. And after that, we have got routes folder. It defines all route files, say web.php and console.php. And after routes, we have storage used for logs, compiled views, file uploads, and framework generated cache. Let me collapse this folder. And after storage, we have tests. It contains unit and feature tests for your application. And then we have got vendor. It contains all third-party packages and dependencies installed by a composer. Now you'd like to get into core application files and folders. So let's start with migrations found in database, migrations, and you are provided with these three migrations: create users, cache table, and jobs table. Migrations are like version control for your database. They define how tables are created, updated, or dropped in a structured way. And after migrations, let's talk about web.php. You can find that in the routes folder. This file decides how incoming requests like URLs are handled and mapped to controllers or closures. And then we have got controllers in app, HTTP, and in controllers folder. We have got only one controller right now. Controllers act as the middle layer, receiving user requests from routes, applying business logic, and returning responses. And after that, let's talk about models found in app and models folder. Right now we have got only one model, that is user. Models represent database tables and handle data interaction using Laravel's document ORM. And after that, let's talk about views located in resources and views folder. Right now we have got only one view, which is welcome.blade.php. Views are Blade templates that display data to the user, usually as HTML mixed with Blade syntax. After that, you would like to have a look at environment file, which is right here, .env. The environment file in Laravel is used to store your application's configuration settings that may change between environments, such as local, staging, or production. It typically contains sensitive information such as app settings and database credentials, for example, database host, port, database name, username, password. And you can also find here, say, mail settings, mail host, mail port, mail username, password, and third-party services such as API keys, storage drivers, etc. Let me close these editors for now. Before we move on, next we are going to discuss about extensions. Let me hit Ctrl or Command Shift X to open our extensions tab in Laravel. Since I have already set up my environment for Laravel development, that's why I have already installed these extensions that make coding faster, cleaner, and more efficient. Say you will need bookmarks, Laravel Blade Formatter, Laravel Extra IntelliSense, Laravel GoToView, Laravel IntelliSense, Laravel Blade, Markdown all-in-one, PHP IntelliFence, PHP IntelliSense, and finally PHP namespace resolver. Now let me close this editor and let's collapse the sidebar as well. Now let me share my presentation screen with you. Now let's talk about Laravel's Artisan CLI. The Artisan CLI is a built-in command line tool that helps you interact with and manage your Laravel application. It simplifies common development tasks so you don't have to manually do everything. With Artisan, you can generate files, run migrations and seeders. You can clear caches, start a local development server, run tests and queues, and etc. Finally, let's start the application with the command php artisan serve. This command is used to start a local development server for your application, and by default it runs app at, let me bring up our code editor and let's bring up our terminal with the hotkey, say command or control tilde, and here you will need to execute a command, say php artisan serve. Hit enter, and that's gonna serve you on http://127.0.0.1:8000. This is the port, and let's copy this address and let me bring up our Chrome and let's open a new tab. Let me paste the URL here and hit enter, and that's gonna open your Laravel entry page. Finally, you have successfully set up your environment for Laravel production, as well as you have successfully served your application, and this is the entry page of any Laravel application. Laravel is important because it provides developers with a modern, elegant, and structured way to build applications quickly and efficiently. It takes care of repetitive tasks like authentication, routing, and database management while offering powerful tools such as Eloquent ORM, Blade templating, and Artisan CLI. With its M.V.C architecture, clean directory structure, and vast ecosystem, Laravel makes applications more maintainable, scalable, and secure. Its strong community support and extensive documentation also make it easier for beginners and professionals alike to learn and adopt. Overall, Laravel helps you focus on writing meaningful code instead of reinventing the wheel, making it one of the most popular and reliable PHP frameworks today. And that ends the episode here. Moreover, if you have any question, you just feel free to comment below, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.